Are you tired of that negative voice that tell you that you're not good enough or that you don't deserve to be happy or successful? Well, that voice is the voice of your inner bully, and it's holding you back from the success and the happiness that you truly deserve. I am Jacqui Letran, and today on the 5-minute bark, in the next 20 minutes, get ready to transform your inner critic into your best friend and champion for success. When I was a teenager, when I was 16 years old, as a matter of fact, I was pregnant. I was doing, my self-esteem was really low. I had no confidence. I was my biggest inner bully, beating myself up on a regular basis. And I was very ashamed of who I was and the decisions I've been making. And so I started acting out. I engaged in all these risk-taking behaviors. And again, by the time I was 16, I was pregnant. I dropped out of high school. I got onto welfare, and my life just went downhill even more. And, in that moment, there were times where I thought about ending it all. I mean, it was just too much for this 16-year-old girl to handle. And now I'm supposed to be a mother. Like, I don't know anything about raising myself. How can I mother a child? But then when I gave birth and I held my son for that first time, when I look into his eyes, there was nothing but love. Like this intense love, a love I've never, ever experienced before, a love I didn't know was possible. And in that moment, something happened within me. And looking back, I would say in that moment, I made a very critical decision. And that decision was that I'm going to do everything I can to be deserving of this little boy's love. I'm going to do everything I can so that this little boy is going to have that life that he deserved. He's giving me so much love in a glance, and I want to be able to provide back for him. And so in that moment, I decided, okay, enough is enough. You got to stop this pattern. And I did not recognize I was being my own bully, but I recognized that I hated myself. So I started my journey on trying to figure out how I could even start to like myself. And as I liked myself more and more, I began to love myself. And the more that I love myself, the more I see my life changing, and everything with, around me that I thought was so incredibly negative, all of a sudden, it's a little brighter. People are nicer. They're more welcoming. And I'm not this outcast that I thought I was. And so the more that I went through my healing journey, the more I realized I have to share this with others. And I started with the medical community because as a teenager seeking medical care, I was completely bullied by the medical system. I was put down so many different times. I was called names, even while I was giving birth, screaming in pain. I was told, stop acting like a baby. You got yourself into this. You're about to have a baby. Stop acting like a baby.
You're watching the 5-Minute Bark podcast on YouTube. If you like this episode, you just may like many more. Subscribe today by clicking the red subscribe button in the top right-hand corner.